Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. When any organisation has to resort to secrecy and lies and diversion, you know it's up to no good. And the same thing goes with the SNP government. They don't want to use official channels of communication, and you have to ask why. The answer is, of course, obvious. These official channels, everything is recorded, it's kept on the server, and should information be needed, it can be easily retrieved. The last thing the SNP want is this sort of stuff available for the general public to find out about. And so they use WhatsApp. That way, an awful lot of governmental business or public business can be done. It's safe and secure in the knowledge that no one will ever find out the truth. It's got to a point where we need to start looking at bringing a law in that if any official business occurs on anything other than official communications, then that is a 5-year prison service for a prison term. I think 5 years would be enough. And phones can be routinely and randomly inspected. And if a phone is found to have something on it that it shouldn't have, then bang, immediately that person's arrested, tried, and gets 5 years without parole, straight through. 5 years. It's the only way to guarantee clean business of politics. The constant use of these private messaging systems undermines democracy and makes a mockery of the Freedom of Information Act, as they are secretive and hiding as they connive their way to what is probable criminality. If they've got nothing to hide, they've got no reason to hide anything. So we'll have a look at this article, see what is going on with the SNP, why they are so, obsessed with secrecy, and why they don't want anything ever to come out, which is why they use WhatsApp. Here goes. So, calls for investigation into SNP's missing WhatsApp messages in new secret Scotland scandal. A trawl of the Scottish Government's archives revealed just 2 records of WhatsApp exchanges, one of them involving an SNP minister's lunch order for gnocchi. Are you telling me in the whole time that this government has run, they've only got 2 WhatsApp messages between them? Sounds conveniently like a pile of shit to me. We know it's a lie. We know it is. Now, they have been told to not delete anything off with regards to the COVID inquiry. And they say, and they do know who's received some messages. They've got the back end of these messages, and they will be inspecting people's phones. And if people have deleted messages, there'll be a record of that deletion. And that will be not only a contempt of court, but a perversion of justice. Both of them very serious crimes. And so people will be sitting there worried to hell now, because what do? Do they leave the information on there and realise that they're opening themselves up for one form of prosecution, or do they delete it and open themselves up for another form of prosecution? And in fact, possibly 2, because someone else on their phone may have their response that they deleted. And so they could end up going to prison twice, or at least with 2 different charges. It gives them a hell of a thing to think about. But the question, of course, is why? Why do they want to cover everything up? Why do they not want anything out in public? Why not official means of communication? And I think it's obvious they're up to some really nasty skullduggery. So Scotland's information watchdog is set to investigate the SNP Green executive's use of WhatsApp and whether ministers and advisors are using it to bypass freedom of information legislation, which of course they are. It comes after Lib Dem researchers trawled through thousands of FOI releases on the Scottish Government website and found just 2 containing WhatsApp exchanges between ministers and civil servants, and one of them revealed that a minister ordered staff to get her gnocchi for lunch. That was it. 2, and one of them was a lunch order. In the entire many years of a government running, when you see them sitting there flicking away on WhatsApp all the time. And this is why WhatsApp must be made illegal for politicians to use. Fine for the personal stuff, but no business of politics, no business of government or of constituency matters or of official matters must ever go through anything other than official channels. And if it does, it's got to be taken as a serious crime. And that'll stop it. And if they knew they were going to do 5 years and the full 5 years, no remission, then they will certainly not do it. Now, Scottish Liberal Democrat MSP Willie Rennie has written to the Scottish Information Commissioner Darren Fitzhenry to call for an investigation into the use of communications platforms such as WhatsApp and Microsoft Teams. Mr. Rennie said the idea that the sum total of government business on WhatsApp is one message exchange between civil servants and a chain which includes a minister's lunch order will come as a surprise to people. It comes as completely unbelievable. We know they're using WhatsApp. They've admitted they're using WhatsApp. Every WhatsApp needs to be completely published. And if they don't like it, you have to ask, why don't they like it? What are they covering up? Why are they so reticent? What have they done? Speaking with colleagues and journalists who are experienced at using FOI legislation to uncover matters of considerable public interest, none of them can ever recall seeing WhatsApp messages between ministers, SPADs or officials released to the public. The government has even admitted that SPADs are in WhatsApp channels relating to their portfolios, yet this information hasn't appeared in the public domain for scrutiny. It is important that practices, he says, relating to the retention and release of data are sufficiently robust to capture discussions taking place on channels like WhatsApp. Indeed, there should be no discussions on anything other than official channels. If you don't like it, don't be an MP. If you don't want what you're saying and doing recorded, the only reason is that you're ashamed of what you're doing, or you know that what you're doing is going to put you in jail. He said this is especially significant because the likes of the COVID public inquiry need to get the fullest picture and have access to all the relevant information. And this is what we mentioned. They've actually been told and given a do not destroy or do not delete notification. And if they do, it's contempt of court and also perversion of the course of justice. A perversion of justice, sorry. And so it is a doubly serious event. And so they are absolutely, like I say, cacking themselves because they don't want to get done for either of them. And also the higher up it goes, you know that the more serious it becomes. We really need a full inquiry, and you need to start with the junior levels, and you get them in a room, and you can have the little bare light bulb, and the guy standing the other side there, sleeves rolled up, good cop, bad cop, and basically saying, look, we know you've done this, you know, this is a fireable offence. However, we're prepared to ignore it if you can drop someone more senior in it. And then I've got it on my phone. Show us your phone and you can walk out of here free today and we'll never mention it again. Bang. They'll get those phones shown and that'll go up, and then you'll get the managers, and then you get the senior people, then you get junior ministers, you get senior ministers, and it will go all the way up to the very, very top. And we all know who the very top is. Anyway, Willie Rennie said, I've written to the Information Commissioner about examining the Scottish Government's use of channels of communication such as WhatsApp and the processes that are in place for ensuring that these messages are recorded and captured in freedom of information requests. They're not going to be. The whole purpose of WhatsApp is secrets. A more proactive publication regime would undoubtedly help by putting more of this information into public domain as a matter of course. But given the Scottish Government's record on issues of transparency, I will not be holding my breath. Indeed, if you did, you would choke. They are not transparent. They keep talking about being transparent, and it's the last thing they ever will be, because they know, and this is an example of it, the WhatsApps is an example of it, they can never, ever let the truth come out, because the public would dangle them from lampposts. One FOI asking for all correspondence on independent spending between the UK and Scottish civil servants and ministers, including WhatsApps, yielded just one brief exchange about setting up a meeting. And that is completely unbelievable. Another revealed a lengthy series of WhatsApp messages between Marie Todd and her staff in January and February 2020 when she was the childcare minister, and it included the request for Noki as well as discussions about briefings, press releases and meetings. It's just a load of old rubbish then, isn't it? The Scottish Government has been contacted for comment, but of course nothing has been said, because what can they say? Yeah, sure, we do use WhatsApp because we don't want the public knowing what we're talking about or what we're doing, because it's so utterly awful. And this whole COVID thing, if the truth doesn't come out of this, it goes to show that these people are truly monsters. We know what they're doing, and there's a lot worse to come. Just wait until all the Jordan Linden stuff comes out. Anyway, I shall stop there and come up, but it is just an indictment on the absolute culture of secrecy and lies that the SNP breed. Anyway. When you are so inculcated with secrecy, with lies, with cover-ups and evasion, that you cannot ever admit the truth, even inadvertently, because you know it will bring the whole house of cards come tumbling down, lying becomes second nature. Secrecy is a way of life. These people would make excellent spies, but the trouble is they wouldn't know what they were talking about. There's so many lies going about that nobody knows what the truth truly is. I suspect not even them. They really do need to be, how can we put this, locked in a room, and I would suggest advanced interrogation until the truth is known, and certainly get them all to open their phones there and then. You need the police to go in en masse, day one, come back, and the police go in straight en masse, line them all up and say, phones out on the table in front of you, and then go through and unlock your phone. And if they refuse, arrest them. Arrest them there and then. Arrest them there and then for crimes against humanity. I don't care. Because what they're doing is wrong on every level. They must show what's on their WhatsApp messages, because you know it's going to be truly awful. Anyway, I should stop there. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see and hear on the channel, do please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and remember, when they're hiding stuff, it's because they're ashamed of it. Bye.